watch them, and then flip on the Black Bears YouTube, and you can see me and Cole do the game against the Watertown Wolves as well. Canada also won today in overtime over Czechia, so unfortunately for our friend Dominic Tomei, unfortunately their run came to an end today. But
tough bounce down.
Still, yeah, it extremely tough bounce the way that one ended. But very excited. Caught a second wind here. What a weekend. I'm just going to jump right on into it for the Black Bears. I know it's been 2 weeks since we've been here at Tully's. We want to thank everybody for coming out on a rare Wednesday show, because last night we were at the farm rink over in Vestal. And before we get to the Port Huron games, which I think a lot of people are dying to hear your opinion on, I just want to quickly hit on last night skating outdoors at the farm while it's fresh on our mind. You suited up and participated in the 3-on-3 games. So did Coach Quinville.
Don't want to talk about the results.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. But, you know, the journey was a great part of it. Driving over to Vestal, getting dressed in the barn, you know, riding in the hay wagon up to the rink, and then just playing outdoors. I know for a guy like you coming from the Rochester area, you know, upstate New York, that's probably a little bit more common. But for like a guy like me who there's no outdoor rinks really in North Carolina that you can skate on that's actually made for hockey.
No ODR in North Carolina?
Only like pop-up ones like outside like a mall or something like that. They do like skate rentals.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. So a big thank you to the Pierce family for inviting us out there. I had a great time for the little bit that I was out there on the ice. I think the guys had a good time laughing at me while I was out there. But that was a great experience, and I'm glad the Black Bears were able to have that at this point of the season.
Yeah, very much. Thank you to Christina and Larry Pierce. They gave us the full tour, and what an amazing experience to do it at night. Last year we did it during the day and kind of had a full-blown practice. It was a little bit looser last night, and Q and I got to hop on the ice and draft our teams, and you know, what an epic matchup, one-goal game, and Mr. Clutch, Janny, who's coming on in a little bit, ended up scoring the game winner, and, you know, Green's looking to rally back next year. But, yeah, so cool. Like, can't even describe the feeling being out there and just the whole scenery and what they have going on. It's an amazing thing that they do for the community, and it's going to grow bigger and bigger, and just can't wait to see that relationship prosper.
It's really cool because I had the opportunity to go to the farm my first season with the Black Bears, and they didn't even have the big barn where the guys were getting dressed at. That wasn't a thing yet.
Last year?
No, I'm like 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
So like, it was really cool to see how much they've put into it.
Larry's working pretty hard up there, and you know, it wasn't enclosed where the locker room area was by the rink, and now they got these beautiful glass doors that come down, heaters in there. It's just an amazing setup.
It is, and the cow Zamboni is also really cool to see every time as well. That's worth the price of admission. But big thank you to the Pierce family again over at the Farm Rink in Vestal for having us out. Can't wait to do it again sometime, hopefully next year.
Maybe even this year. I was talking to Larry. Maybe we might be able to sneak out there again if the weather holds up.
That's good. Well, it was, you know, like perfect temperature last night. You know, right above freezing where you're not too cold. You don't have to bundle up underneath all the gear. Filming, my hands weren't getting too cold, and luckily I did not fall. So big thank you again to all the people over at the Farm Rink. If you didn't see it, it's on all the Black Bear social media, on X, Instagram, and Facebook. There's stories that you can go back and watch, and also there's some posts on the main timeline as well. And if you click on the link, you can find out more information about our friends over at the Farm Rink as well. So again, big thank you to the Pierce family for that. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of why everybody is here tonight. Because it, well, unfortunately wasn't here to talk about the outdoor rink. Big weekend in Port Huron. Black Bears come away with 5 out of 6 possible points. 2 come from behind victories, where Binghamton falls behind 2-0 in the second period. And in both games, Black Bears storm back in different ways in both games, but same result with the Black Bears skating away victorious on both nights. I wrote down in my notebook on Saturday. Saturday is the game of the year.
Yeah, big time.
And then Friday night was also really exciting as well because you guys shut it down in the third period, generating all the offense. We're going to hear from Matt Jansen, who scored both the game-winning goal and the insurance goal later on Friday night's game a little bit. But first off, generalization, thoughts on the weekend before we deep dive into some specifics.
Pause for a second. I really think the deck was stacked against us. We don't need to go into like details and pointing the finger and stuff like that, but it was a pretty resilient effort by our group, and super proud of being down 2 goals and coming back in each one of those games. So just, you kind of need to show that heart sometimes when things aren't going your way and you think there's favorable calls going the other way, and our boys just kept their head down and kept believing, and it was an awesome effort. It's just, to me, it's just a little crazy that 25% of our penalties come in Port Huron when we play there. We take really good pride in being disciplined this year. I think it's been a big change, and that's thanks to Quinville joining the staff. He's kind of calmed me down a little bit, but also to our guys listening to the message before games. The whole message when we play Port Huron is not to get dragged into the BS. And you would think the awareness on, the officiating side, that like they would know this with the most penalized team, that in these scrums, we're not retaliating, we're not instigating any of it. We're just taking punches to the face and somehow still going to the box. But you know what? It's okay. It's a great lesson, and we're very proud of how our group handled the entire weekend.
What do you think is the main, let's see here, I'm going to word this correctly. What do you think the main takeaway from the weekend for the guys is?
No matter what happens, no matter what circumstances we're in, I think we're going to prevail. Yeah, like I believe we have a championship team. I mean, we've been champs for close to 700 days, and I think we're going to continue to try to accomplish that goal once again. It's not going to be easy, but you kind of need some games like that where you feel like everything's against you and you come out on top. So that belief's, in our room. I don't think it was never not there, but it's good to see it in those given circumstances.
Well, it's nice to see that also you had some guys reemerge in the goal sheet as well. Kirkby had 2 huge goals on Saturday night.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Durazio had a goal and 3 assists that night. And then you have Yates, who got back on the goal sheet after taking a little bit of time off.
Big goal.
Absolutely.
When, the chance of start the bus we're going.
Crazy. That was
pretty gutsy move when you're down 1 goal. Maybe you do that when you're up a few goals.
Yep. As soon as I heard it, I thought, this could be something really good. Now, albeit, I thought things looked a little bit bleak once the net was empty, and then Stone fired the shot that got caught in Millette's equipment. I thought, that took a lot of time off the clock. But hey, love to be wrong in that situation, and Sarge crashing the net. And then earlier in the game, I pointed it out on the broadcast that he had a backhand shot just like the one that he ended up scoring, and he sent it high over the bar. He outweighted the netminder, but then came back, did it again.
Those where goalie makes a miraculous save, or it goes over the net. Sometimes hockey just doesn't go your way, and you got bad puck luck. So it was awesome to see Sarge kind of come into his own this weekend, and I think the ramped up of the physicality really turned it on for him.
How do you think that the Black Bears handled the physicality aspect of the weekend? Because one thing that we had talked about on the way up there is thought you were going to get a little bit of a different style from Port Huron compared to the teams that the Black Bears have been playing the last couple of weeks. They don't play the same way that the Twin City Thunderbirds do. Or the
an honest
Hat-Tricks.
game, an honest hockey game. I thought the boys handled the physicality part of the game well. They play hard in between the whistles. They lay clean hits, and then you got one of the best defensemen in the league answering the bell after a clean hit on one of their players. And handling him pretty well in his first ever pro fight. So I thought the scrums in front of the net, our boys couldn't have done any better as far as their discipline. Sometimes we ended up on the wrong end of it, but very pleased with how our physicality went that weekend.
Well, he was talking about Austin DeRazio, and Austin DeRazio did have his first professional fight this past Saturday, and it was a great fight. Also, clean hit that he did have to answer the bell for, but more importantly, did give us the opportunity to talk about it on air that he wanted to make sure that his mom was his Valentine. So happy belated Valentine's Day to Miss Joanne. That is from Austin himself. I wanted to make sure I got that in there twice this week. Because he said, please say a happy Valentine's Day to my mom. Saw him at breakfast that morning. So great to work that in there. And he also scored the opening goal for the Black Bears that game as well to get them on the score sheet. Things continue to ramp up here as we push for the postseason. Kind of got lost in the shuffle this weekend with everything that unfolded on Saturday. But Friday night, Black Bears were able to clinch a playoff spot with the regulation win, winning 5-3. Not that being in the playoffs was really in question, I think, this year, but to be able to clinch the playoff spot so early, be the first team to 100 points in the FPHL, pretty good accomplishment. I know it's not the one you guys are hoping for. That one comes at the end of the year.
It's a small goal of ours. We want to win if it's called the President's Trophy or the regular season.
Yeah.
Just to get that home ice advantage. We have a passionate fan base and one of the best arenas in the league. So if we can get on our home ice a little bit more often in the playoffs, we're going to take it. So a little bit of motivation, during these dog days, a winner.
Well, Black Bears now will try to chase down the Empire Division and try to have that for 3 years in a row. And then after that, they will try to play for the #1 overall seed. So points in the standings still matter for the Black Bears. Pretty soon, playoff ticket information will be posted online and then sent out to all of our fans as well on how you can secure seats for the playoffs, both and part of the playoff package and also single game playoff tickets as well. So that's coming sooner rather than later. But make sure you're following the Black Bears on social media and you stay plugged into BinghamtonBlackBears.com to find out more information on playoff seats. It's really nice when you get to talk about playoffs and you're in mid-February. But you know what? It'll be here before you know it.
One day at a time, Brooksy.
I know.
It's all about the process.
That's true, and I think that's probably a little bit different the way that things maybe you guys get to see it downstairs versus how we have to prepare upstairs for it.
100%.
A couple of weeks ahead of time, or at least we try to. Black Bears are going to be back at home on Saturday, February 28th. Easy to remember. Last day of February this year. It'll be a specialty jersey night once again. We partnered with our friends at the American Special Hockey Association, our very own Binghamton Hawks, designing some jerseys that the Black Bears are going to be wearing. I know you saw them
Pretty
earlier.
Sleek design.
You like the color scheme? Yeah.
Reveal a little bit?
I think Josh is putting it on the screen for all of our friends watching on YouTube.
I like it a lot, so that'll be a cool jersey. Support our Asha buddies over there and hopefully raise a lot of funds.
Yeah, absolutely, because what they did is they sent in a couple of designs to the team, and EJ was able to take something really from all of the jerseys and kind of put it together and really kind of do it in a style that we haven't done before. They're the kind of monochrome black and white instead of, not having the accent of green in there. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And, already with the helmets and the pants, it's going to look pretty slick, I think, on the ice as well.
It's awesome that, they support us. We support them. Jen O'Brien, she's been a great contributor to our program, and we can't thank her enough for everything she's done for the Black Bears and the Asha program in the United States.
So that'll be on Saturday, February 28th. The Black Bears will take on the Danbury Hat Tricks at 7 o'clock that night, and there will be a live post-game jersey auction, and with the proceeds benefiting our friends over at the Binghamton Hawks for that. Before we get to that home game, Black Bears will get ready to turn their focus this weekend to 2 games on the road as they take on the Watertown Wolves once again. Wolves made a trade earlier today that I thought was a little surprising, sending Brendan Colgan down to PD for some financial considerations. But nonetheless, still got to play the games, got to go up to Watertown. It's a place where the Black Bears, have lost a game this year, one of the 6 total that they've lost. But how do you guys kind of put this past weekend behind you and turn your focus to Watertown coming up on Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, every week's new, and we moved on from Port Huron pretty quickly, so the focus is Watertown, and there's going to be a little adversity going into this weekend. We have two of our top forwards suspended, so kind of next man up mentality, but I believe in this group, and there's going to be a lot of shuffling of the lines. You'll see some different combos. Some might catch your eye, but no, we're super excited for the challenge this upcoming weekend.
Do you think anything from the farm rink last night helps you put together some lines and maybe some combinations that work together?
Brooksy, I could barely breathe out there. I wasn't really paying attention, just trying to keep up with these guys.
Oh, I thought you were doing good. I saw the backside one-timer.
Not bad.
I saw the celebration that got Jacob Shankar 2 minutes in the penalty box as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Let him hear it.
Don't taunt, that's for sure. But no, I definitely called mom and dad after that goal. That was a pretty sweet goal. So proud of that one.
Well, if the referee John Brown was paying attention last night during that sequence, you probably would have got to the penalty box.
I slipped him a 20.
Okay, all right. Well, obviously, I saw somebody ask earlier this week, and I thought it would be a good question to go ahead and pose it to you. This is normally the part of the year where we start seeing some collegiate signees start coming into the roster. Just wanted to know, and you don't have to give away any names or anything like that, but just wanted to know, has that process started? Are kids reaching out to you? Are you reaching out to kids finishing their season? How's that going?
Honestly, it's probably the busiest time of the year for me. It's a lot of phone calls, and thank God I got amazing support staff to kind of help me with all the other hockey operations. So, yeah, it's me reaching out a lot of the time. Sometimes you might get a surprise there, like a Andrew Logar coming through the email system that we have. But for the most part, it's me calling college coaches and using the connections that I've grown over the past few years. So, unfortunately, every single D3 team is playing this weekend, besides one. So I do have a player coming from that team to help us out now that we, are kind of depleted on bodies. We have Dan Stone going up to Roanoke to do a little stint up there for a couple weeks, help them out. They help us out. We have a great relationship with Roanoke, so super happy to see him at the SP level and take care of some of the immigration stuff as well. So it's going to start ramping up. You'll see a lot of college guys coming in. You'll get the first round of colleges that typically don't make playoffs or out in the first round, and then a little bit later in mid-March, you'll start to get some of those better Division III colleges, and hopefully we can grab some of those players as well.
All right, awesome. Well, I know there was a lot of phone calls when we talked earlier today, all day today.
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, and being in full gear last night too probably wore you out physically.
That didn't help too. I should have kept the suit on and just stayed on the bench.
You know what? But you gotta have those. You gotta have those opportunities. I think I was impressed that Quimble was out there with no shoulder pads on.
Pretty gutsy on his part.
Big time.
But you know what? Then you're a little lighter. I think I should have started removing pieces of equipment. Maybe that would have helped me out.
Oh, just take off a piece of gear every time you guys started a new game.
Yeah, I think so.
By the end of it, you're just out there in helmet and gloves.
I was dragging by the end.
No, but all in good fun. Wanted to talk to you about something that I saw on the Instat sheet that I thought was really impressive. Had multiple guys this past Saturday have over 30 minutes of ice time. So looking at quickly here.
Those are Lindstrom numbers.
Yeah. So Austin DeRazio, 32 minutes, 19 seconds. Matt Jansen, who we're going to hear from in just a little bit, just under 30 with 29 minutes and 6 seconds. And then Tyson Kirkby, 31-51. So three guys over or right at 30 minutes of ice time that's pretty incredible. Like Quinn Hughes, who just played for Team USA and got the game-winning goal, he doesn't even play 30 minutes. He doesn't even play 30 minutes a game, and he leads the skaters in terms of ice.
typically we like to share the workload, but given the circumstances with guys getting tossed out, it was kind of every other shift. And kudos to John holding down the bench and putting the right guys out there and getting the job done and securing another 6-on-5 goal off a face-off. Just amazing job by the group. But yeah, that's a lot of minutes. So I think the day off Monday and a little extra sleep on Tuesday hopefully helps some of those guys. But yeah, I don't know if Janny's logged those minutes in a while. So he was huffing and puffing, but Mr. Clutch came through on the weekend quite a bit. He is Johnny on the spot, that's for sure.
And I really wish we had a camera or a microphone down in the Black Bears locker room on Saturday night. Legend has it that John Quimble delivered a Herb Brooks-esque level speech to motivate the guys in between the second and the third period. I know there's probably some things that we can't say here at the restaurant, but you were in the locker room. But what's the best way that you can sum up what Quimble brought in that intermission?
I think he kept it pretty clean. I was actually on the phone with Andreas. So Q looked over at me. He's like, I got this. And he was absolutely dialed. And he kind of came in there and gave the team two options. You can either accept the loss and, we can get on the bus and blame it on whoever or whatever it might be. Or you can go out there and fight tooth and nail and get the job done. And I know he started low and calm and then rose up, and you could hear the fireworks from the locker room. And I was 2 locker rooms over, so the boys were definitely ready to go. And you could tell in the first few minutes after scoring a couple goals. So the boys responded really well, and very happy for John to get his first win as the head coach.
Yeah, really awesome for Coach Quimble, and you could tell the guys were fired up. They also had some great celebrations as well. Tyson Kirkby did the penguin slide, and then on the game tying goal from Garrett Sargis, Matt Jansen celebrating up at the blue line, pumping his fist. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, just like what did EJ say? Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah. What a way to describe it. I think Janny pumping his arms in the air. I think he was just trying to catch his win after all those minutes on the ice too. I don't know if he could skate over to the guys.
Well, you know what? We're getting to hear Mac's side of the story here in just a little bit. He's our player guest coming up in just a few minutes. Coach, one thing I was actually doing some prep work for tonight's show is now in the 5 years that the Black Bears have been in organization, they've played 3 times on Valentine's Day, and they have won all 3 games. They beat the Elmira River Sharks in 24, 10-2. Last year they beat the Hockey Club Venom 5-3, and then this Saturday, Valentine's 2026, Binghamton wins in a shootout fashion, 6-5 over the Prowlers. So Black Bears are showing their love for Valentine's Day. And
we show up for the women in our life, all the moms, Black Bear moms out there, our girlfriends, wives. We do it for you on Valentine's Day. That's for sure.
Well, that's really awesome to hear. So Black Bears are outscoring their opposition 21-10. On not St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day there. Got a little bit ahead of myself. That's a different stat. A couple more Tully shows before we get to that. But, Coach, anything else you'd like to say before we let you go and Matt Jansen will join us up here?
I'm excited to hear from Janny. He's a big leader on this team without wearing a leather, and just we're so lucky to have the type of player in Binghamton like him, and can't thank him enough for choosing to come here. But other than that, we have the best fans, the most passionate fans. They helped a lot with this win, the 2 wins this weekend. So thank you, and can't wait to see you next Saturday.
Thank you. And before we let Coach go real quick, I want to give a very special shout out to all the fans who did come to Port Huron. I know a couple of you guys are in here scattered across the restaurant, so big thank you. You guys brought the energy. I know even when the Prowlers were trying to silence you guys brought the energy for us. I could see it up on the broadcast, and it was very funny watching you guys pump it up after that big victory.
And then
on
one
Saturday.
last shout out. We got a special guest in here, Austin. showed up, our mascot.
Oh,
yeah, get over here. Get over here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for showing up. That's your shout out, brother.
Oh, what's up?
Want to do
Good
a little
stuff.
Irish dance for the camera?
Why not?
There you go.
Woo, woo, woo. There we go, baby.
That's our buddy Austin.
Best mascot in the league.
Yep, doubles as the Arctic Bear, sometimes Bingo and Bingo Jr. So big thank you to Austin, big thank you to Coach Sherwood. Yep. We're going to take a quick time out, come back, and we will hear from Coach Sherwood's former teammate and now current player, Matt Jansen. So we'll see if Janny has any fun Sherwood stories from the Roanoke days as he comes up to the stage here in just a little bit. We're back with you right after this timeout.
Join us Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. for an action-packed night against the Danbury Hat Tricks. The Black Bears will be wearing specialty jerseys inspired and designed by the Binghamton Hawks, our local American Special Hockey Association team, with proceeds benefiting them. It is also Government and Educational Employees Night. All government and educational employees can get discounted tickets. Give our office a call at 607-722-7367 or visit binghamtonblackbears.com. Are you looking to get your taxes done? JMK Tax Solutions is located at 1152 Vestal Avenue in Binghamton. They offer tax, bookkeeping, and payroll services and are currently accepting new clients.
Attention fans, looking sharp is a power play. Studio 11 Barbershop, located in Endicott, New York, is your go-to for fresh fades, sharp cuts, and all-star style. Visit our website or call the number below to book, or simply just walk in. Studio 11 Barbershop, where champions get their cut.
Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Join us Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. for an action-packed night against the Danbury Hat Tricks. The Black Bears will be wearing specialty jerseys inspired and designed by the Binghamton Hawks, our local American Special Hockey Association team, with proceeds benefiting them. It is also Government and Educational Employees Night. All government and educational employees can get discounted tickets. Give our office a call at 607-722-7367 or visit binghamtonblackbears.com. Are you looking to get your taxes done? JMK Tax Solutions is located at 1152 Vestal Avenue in Binghamton. They offer tax, bookkeeping, and payroll services and are currently accepting new clients.
Attention fans, looking sharp is a power play. Studio 11 Barbershop, located in Endicott, New York, is your go-to for fresh fades, sharp cuts, and all-star style. Visit our website or call the number below to book, or simply just walk in. Studio 11 Barbershop, where champions get their cut.
Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Join us Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. for an action-packed night against the Danbury Hat Tricks. The Black Bears will be wearing specialty jerseys inspired and designed by the Binghamton Hawks, our local American Special Hockey Association team, with proceeds benefiting them. It is also Government and Educational Employees Night. All government and educational employees can get discounted tickets. Give our office a call at 607-722-7367 or visit binghamtonblackbears.com. Are you looking to get your taxes done? JMK Tax Solutions is located at 1152 Vestal Avenue in Binghamton. They offer tax, bookkeeping, and payroll services and are currently accepting new clients.
Attention fans, looking sharp is a power play. Studio 11 Barbershop, located in Endicott, New York, is your go-to for fresh fades, sharp cuts, and all-star style. Visit our website or call the number below to book, or simply just walk in. Studio 11 Barbershop, where champions get their cut.
Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Welcome back in, everybody. Brooks Hill, joined by a very special player guest here, making his first time appearance on the Tully's Good Times with Coach show. Black Bears forward, number 93, Matt Jansen, now joining us up at the table. Mac, thank you for being here on a Wednesday night.
Thanks for having me, Brooksy.
Well, what a weekend, not only for you personally with the stats you were able to put up both nights and two big wins for the Black Bears, but just a real crazy turn of like 48 hours, I would say, in the hockey world. You logged over 30 minutes of ice time Saturday night, and Coach Sherwood had already talked about it a little bit, but what was that kind of like for you coming from a player's perspective in that marathon of a game that seemingly did not want to end?
It's hard to explain. You don't really think about it in the moment. The only thing you're thinking about is winning the game and doing whatever you can to help the team to win the game. And, there was a lot of guys chipping in, putting in minutes, blocking shots, taking hits, giving hits. And, it was just a total team effort to get that win, especially on Saturday night.
Yeah, well, you also had some pretty big moments on Friday as well. Game-winning goal late, 3:17 left to go on the game in that one. And then great effort on the empty net goal as well, because I believe you got knocked down as you were putting the puck into the net. So two late goals for the Black Bears to give them 3 points with a regulation victory on Friday night as well. You're a native of Minnesota, White Bear Lake, correct?
That's correct.
And White Bear Lake High School.
Yep.
And somewhat of a local legend with the hockey team, right? If my research is correct?
Yeah, I put in my time, that's for sure.
Well, you know what? High school is some people's best 4 years of their life, or in some people's cases 5. Lucky for you, it was only 4, but I heard state championship goal. Is that right? Was I right?
It was only a section. It was a section goal to go to state.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool moment.
And winning the section, that puts you in
that got us to the state tournament.
The one with the hair?
Yes.
In Minnesota? Okay,
Yes.
So did you bleach your hair and, come out and shake your head a little bit?
No,
for
we didn't do the
lineups?
bleach, but
okay.
I had quite the mob top going on, that's for sure.
Okay, so for people who don't know, the Minnesota Boys State Hockey Tournament is really famous for being the hair tournament, where a lot of people like to dye their hair or bleach it blonde. A lot of people with long hair as well, or just funny haircuts in general. While we're talking about high school hockey, what would you say what was your favorite thing about playing for your hometown high school?
Just the passion. It's what I like to call our religion out there. You grow up only thinking about your high school. Like a good example is, you grow up playing shinny or street hockey, and you always, try and replicate or simulate scoring that, Game 7 Stanley Cup overtime winning goal. For me and my buddies, it was always, scoring that big goal for your high school in the section final or against our rival or in the state tournament. It's, it's unmatched everywhere else in the country. It's just that sense of pride everyone has for their city and, for their high school team.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Would you say that in Minnesota, hockey is the #1 high school sport?
Oh yeah, absolutely, by far. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I know that I know in some places hockey is. I know we've talked to a lot of Canadian guests on the show where maybe they're not necessarily playing for their high school. It's more about like their club team or their like their AAA squad, something like that. For you playing high school hockey, what made you choose to do that or have the priority on the high school team rather than, going into like the club or like the travel, the select kind of route at that point?
Definitely the fans. I mean, we would get sellout crowds pretty similar to here, 2,000 people that show up for a high school hockey game. That's kind of unheard of everywhere else in the country. It's very similar to like high school football down in Texas. You grow up playing for your youth program, for your city, wearing the same colors, watching the high school team as a kid, just wishing and waiting to be in their shoes, either playing in the section final or, getting lucky enough and having a good enough team to go to the state tournament, and then you get to play in front of, a sold-out NHL stadium. But, it's mainly just wearing those colors with your best friends and your brothers your whole life, and then you get to your sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school, and you get to represent your city in front of your entire city.
Well, it's really awesome to hear someone who has like that perspective. I was doing a little bit of homework earlier today. You go from White Bear Lake to Wisconsin Eau Claire in the Division III ranks, and nowadays the rules have changed a little bit on college eligibility based on like when people play juniors and whatnot, and you have a lot older people going to college. As a freshman, you might be 20 years old or you might be 21 compared to, in your case, you're going in right at 18, like right after your senior year of high school. No?
No. I did go play. I went and played juniors in the North American League. I was there for 3 years.
Okay.
So I was
my fault.
I was also
okay,
a
dash
21-year-old freshman.
21-year-old freshman.
Yeah.
Okay. How come Eau Claire? Why that school?
Well, first off, my best friend was going there, so that kind of made an easy decision. There was a lot of scrambling going around when I finished juniors, so many unanswered questions, and he kind of did all the recruiting and did everything with the coach, and I just went and met with the coach, and it seemed like the fit for me, and obviously having my best buddy there, made the decision a little easier.
Was there ever a thought in the back of your head that like, hey, like after juniors, like this might be it, or time to move on?
No, it's always been hockey.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so any other sport that you played growing up or excelled at?
I try to play as much golf as possible. Not really competitive unless we got a couple of the boys out there playing against each other. But baseball and football till your freshman year. But once you hit high school in Minnesota, if you're serious about hockey, it's kind of the only sport you can focus on.
Okay, I was gonna say we played a round of golf earlier this season during training camp over at Ely Park. I remember that. Very good player. If I remember correctly, you like to play golf barefoot. Is that right?
Only when I'm playing bad.
Only when you're playing bad. Okay. Yeah. So that means not often. That means not often.
Yeah, not often.
Not often. Yeah. Okay. All right. There you go. I knew I remembered something about you playing golf in the barefoot. So after your time at Eau Claire, transitioned into the professional ranks. And I know you had actually played a few games with the Watertown Wolves way back when.
Yeah.
Back when the FPHL looked completely different. Mm-hmm. And before, I'm not going to skip over your time in Roanoke because I have some good talking points from that time frame as well. From your time in Watertown, if you remember those, short little stint, what would you say, or looking back at it now, how do you compare what the FPHL is now to what it was when you first played with the Watertown Wolves?
That's a tough question. It was a long time ago. I've played a lot of hockey since then. I would just say the league's gotten more professional, a little more serious, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. That was a long time ago. Fortunately, that's where I got to meet my good buddy Gavin Yates. That was almost a decade ago now, but that's where I saw him. He unfortunately hasn't changed much, but no, he was still the same back then, buzzing around, and yeah, that's where I first met him for a stint.
Well, that's really awesome. And then obviously you spent a majority of your career playing with the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs in the SPHL. Was the captain of that team, had a letter for a couple of seasons. Is that where you met Coach Sherwood? Was with your time in Roanoke, or did you guys have an encounter beforehand?
We did have an encounter beforehand. My rookie year, I don't know what year it was for him. He'd been playing for a little bit yet, but we were both down in Pensacola.
Okay.
In 2018, he just moved there from Mississippi or something. He was kind of there to stay, and I was just a young kid trying to get my face and name out there in the league. And I was lucky enough. He kind of took me under his wing to teach me some, quick pointers about the league and what it's really all about. Unfortunately, that didn't last as long as I would have liked it to, but I definitely remembered, some of the pointers he gave me just to getting into the pros, and yeah, it kind of just went on from there.
Well, it's really neat that you guys were able to have some experience playing together, even before the Roanoke days. I know, your name is like legendary in the Star City. Lovely town. I've been to Roanoke quite a few times, and I enjoy myself every single time I get to go. Went to a great wedding in Roanoke a few years ago before I moved up here to take this job. But you were along with teammates with, CJ Stubbs there, Garrett Sargis, head coach Brant Sherwood, who's out politicking around the restaurant right now. What do you remember most about those guys from your time when you guys were together?
Just it was more like the commitment to the team, over everything. We were so committed to each other. We just knew that if we all had one common goal, that we were going to get the best out of each other, and that's really what we got every time that group was together. We had nothing but success. Obviously, there's highs and lows in hockey seasons, but it was such a fun time with a group of guys that all had one common goal, and that was just to win and be successful. And we were going to do whatever it took to hold each other accountable and bring our best product on the ice every night to put on a show for the fans and, win hockey games.
I think that ties it really well together about how you guys have, kind of stayed true to yourselves no matter like what location you're in, what team you're playing for. Did have a fan write in a question.
Okay.
I'm very excited about this one. Out
Great.
of all of the teammates that you were teammates with in Roanoke or, somewhere else that are now with you in the Black Bears, and Coach Sherwood's included in this.
Okay.
Who has changed the most out of all the teammates who are now part of the organization with the Black Bears?
I'll keep it easy on myself. We'll say Sherwood. He's
okay. That's
we'll
good.
just say from his player days to his coaching days, he has grown up a lot.
All right, and somebody from Roanoke also wrote in and said, "Can you give us one Rail Yard Dog story with Sherwood?" On the spot.
Yeah. Tough ones that are, media.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, he was just a passionate guy, man. That's where us players get it from in the locker room now, in the Black Bears locker room. It's from him. He's a passionate guy. He's a crazy guy, but he means nothing but the best for obviously himself and then the guys that he's supposed to take care of, which is us players. And he's just super passionate and puts the players first before everything, and I agree with nothing more than that. In this minor game, it all starts with the players, and he takes care of us, and, in return, we just put in the hard work to try and make him look as good as possible.
Can you follow up on that with kind of how the recruitment process for you went this summer? I know Coach Sherwood spent some time talking with you and, trying to get you to sign with the organization. Can you give us a little insight on what that was like?
Yeah, I mean, I knew my time in Roanoke was kind of coming to an end, and it was maybe time for a change of pace, change of scenery, and, obviously, you know, when one of your good buddies is running a place like this, he was one of my first calls, and I was going through a lot, not only in my hockey life, but my personal life, so he was helping me through that as well, and then you just spend some time together, and I knew the group of guys that was here. I knew Tyson very well. Obviously, I knew Stubbs and a couple other guys in the room, and, you know, he preached the guys to me. He didn't preach the hockey or the ownership or the fan base. Obviously, that all comes extra with it, but he preached the locker room of guys in there and what they really had, and, you know, it's tough to preach that. You kind of have to see it and be a part of it and feel it, but he did his best to help me recognize, you know, what they had in the locker room here, and that made my decision easy after that.
Were you able to lean on a guy like CJ Stubbs, who was kind of in the same position that you were the year before, to kind of see, like, hey, like, is this actually, like, the real deal?
Yeah, of course. He was, you know, I was talking with him all summer about it. Obviously, he was saying, come, you're going to love it. And, you know, I trust his decision. I know last year he had obviously a blast here winning it and with a great group of guys. So, yeah, obviously he was a big part of my decision. And I knew he was going to have my back no matter what I decided to do. And ultimately, I'm definitely glad I made the decision to come here.
Well, it really is awesome for you to be a part of the team. It's been fun getting to know you this year as well. 28 goals offensively this year for the Black Bears, and you know, you're just a few behind CJ for the team high there in that category. So it seems that you guys are kind of, you know, picking up right where you left off with your former team, you know, leading the way also not only, you know, in offensive category, but in the leadership quality as well, because Coach Sherwood talks about the amount of guys who can step up and, you know, be heard, and, you know, not necessarily they have a letter on their jersey, because, you know, unfortunately, not everybody can be a captain on the team. You can only have so many players have a letter on their sweater. But what would you say the vibe is in the locker room with, like, the guys that you have, like, in your leadership core, that everybody, like, feels respected and can say something?
Yeah, I think we have a really smart older core group in the fact of, you know, everyone can step up and say something. It's so easy for something to be said, but with this group, the older guys, you know, you don't have to say something. Let's go out and show it. You know, let your actions speak louder than your words, and this group's really good at that. If I'm slacking, Stubbsy's really good at, you know, working his tail off, and that's going to make me want to work my tail off as his line mate or as his teammate. And I just think that's the biggest thing, is we're a team of action over, you know, verbal. Like, we like to go out and show it. Obviously, anyone can say it and, oh, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, let's work harder. No, let's step up and show it, and show that we're going to work hard, show that we're going to be locked in this week in practice. And, you know, it's kind of perfect timing when we just went on that 3-game skid or whatever it was, because it's good for a team to get some adversity mid-season or going through that last weekend, you know, battling another team and the refs. We'd rather do that now at the end of February or in the middle of February rather than having to deal with something for the first time like that in playoffs. You know, it makes it easier to deal with games like that and stints like that if you go through it more than once. And, you know, this team really just stepped up and handled it. That's the only way to say it. It was from our youngest rookie to our oldest vet. Everyone just put their head down, went to work, and, you know, the results show for themselves.
Yeah, not to get into the cliches, but it sounds like you guys, I mean, actually doesn't even sound like it. You guys did it. It's a fact. It already happened. You answered the bell, and then not only did you talk the talk, but you walked the walk as well, both nights,
yeah.
As well, coming from those 2-goal deficits. Had 2 more fan questions here for you tonight.
Let's hear 'em.
They wanted to know, you've spent a majority of your career playing with teams in southern locations in the United States.
Yes.
What's it like playing for a team in the north?
You know, it's funny. I just talked to Sherwood about this the other day. It's kind of better. I'm a Minnesota guy, so I'm used to the winters, and I, for some reason, can bear the cold. But when you're down in the south and it's nice all the time, it's kind of easy to get a little loose and forget that it's hockey season. But when you're in the north and you have a winter and, you know, there's the snow, like the dog days of the season, there's really nothing else to focus on except hockey. You can't go golf. You can't go sit outside and eat. You can't really go for walks or, you know, do with the weather we had. You can't really go do outside activities unless it's, you know, snowmobiling or snowboarding or something like that. But Yeah, I like it personally. You know, it's kind of brought me back to my roots. Going to the farm last night was a cool experience. I mean, I grew up skating hours a day outside, and you know, I haven't skated outside in over a decade, being in the South, and that was just a really cool experience. You know, it made me feel like I was a kid again. And to answer your question, I love being in the North, as crazy as it sounds, but I think it's good for hockey players, and it's a cool thing.
Yeah, well, you guys took the visors off last night as well while you guys were playing outdoors. So team no visor coming away with the win. And Matt Jansen did score the game-winning goal last night, just like he did in the shootout on Saturday. You know, we almost went the entire interview without actually talking about the shootout goal that proved out to be the game-winning goal. You shot second for the Black Bears. Nick Swain scored first in the first round. And how big was that moment for you with that shootout goal? Or did you know you were gonna go, or did Coach Q just tap you on the back?
I was pretty gassed finishing the overtime, and he just came and tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "When do you want to go?" I said, "Whenever." And Swainer is a shootout magician. He scores on every breakaway. Sorry, Dom, but somehow this guy just is a shootout wizard, and pretty easy choice for him to go first. And when our first shooter scores and then our goalie stops the first shot, we're up one. It kind of took a little pressure off my shoulders, and then you just go down and you just do your thing, and shot the puck. Thank God it went in.
Awesome. And I will say, your celly on the Sargent's goal, I think, was a little bit better than the celly on the shootout goal. I'm glad EJ was able to clip it because that call is probably going to be in my demo reel. And then when people are listening to it, it's just going to have you pumping your arms up in the air. So that is pretty neat. Final question we have for you tonight before we let you go is, what made you fall in love with hockey?
My mom used to always tell me I was born with skates on, so I don't think I really had a choice of anything other than hockey. I love Herb Brooks' line in that quote, or in his speech in the locker room. He says, "You were born to do this," and that's what I've lived with my whole life. I was just born to do it, so it's what I'm going to do till the day I die.
Awesome. Well, that is the voice of Black Bears forward, number 93, Matt Jansen. We will take a final timeout. Come back with more. Wrap up the Tully's Good Times with Coach show. We're back with you right after this.
Join us Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. for an action-packed night against the Danbury Hat Tricks. The Black Bears will be wearing specialty jerseys inspired and designed by the Binghamton Hawks, our local American Special Hockey Association team, with proceeds benefiting them. It is also Government and Educational Employees Night. All government and educational employees can get discounted tickets. Give our office a call at 607-722-7367 or visit binghamtonblackbears.com. Are you looking to get your taxes done? JMK Tax Solutions is located at 1152 Vestal Avenue in Binghamton. They offer tax, bookkeeping, and payroll services and are currently accepting new clients.
Attention fans, looking sharp is a power play. Studio 11 Barbershop, located in Endicott, New York, is your go-to for fresh fades, sharp cuts, and all-star style. Visit our website or call the number below to book, or simply just walk in. Studio 11 Barbershop, where champions get their cut.
Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Big thank you to head coach Brandon Sherwood and Black Bears forward Matt Jansen for joining me here on the show. Friendly reminder, the next time the Black Bears will be out at Tully's is back to our regularly scheduled Tuesday night. It'll be March 3rd, 6 p.m. Tully's right here on the Vestal Parkway. So we hope that everybody can come out and have a good time. Big thank you to everybody in the crowd who showed up for a Wednesday night Tully's Coaches Show. We definitely thank you for showing the support for the Black Bears, and you guys are the reason why we are able to do shows like this, and because we know we have the fan support that allows restaurants to host us when we want to have some community involvement. Black Bears are on the road this weekend as they will take on the Watertown Wolves at the Municipal Arena up in the North Country. Both games are scheduled for 7:30 start times Friday and Saturday. Both those games will be live on the Black Bears YouTube channel. Cole Parenti and myself will be on the call both nights. So we hope that you enjoy some Black Bears hockey this weekend with us. The next time Binghamton is at home is Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. against the Danbury Hat Tricks. It is a specialty jersey night brought to you by our friends over at the Binghamton Hawks and the ASHA, American Special Hockey Association. Black Bears jerseys will be auctioned off live after the game on February 28th. For our producer tonight, Josh Williams, EJ Worth on socials, and Cole Parenti as well. My name is Brooks Hill. We will talk to you again live on Friday night. See you in the arena on the 28th. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you for watching.